just a minute late. So I hope everybody is enjoying their meditation. So today I wanted to do the whole thing because from next Friday onwards, we'll be starting kind of new chapter. So we'll be starting with the petal mantras. So I thought me and Raviji, we were discussing that let's review the whole thing, whatever we have been doing so far. So just to get started, we started with prana. So we have done it many times. What is prana? Prana or energy, the so-called energy.
Are you starting already?
Okay, yeah. Should we or want me to wait?
No. I want to start recording. I didn't know you just straight went into it. Hold on 1 second.
Your recording is on.
Okay. Let's start.
Yeah. Okay. So we started with the topic, what is prana? So prana, the so-called energy that reside within us, around us, in the whole universe. In fact, the whole universe exists because of the presence of prana. We are alive because of presence of prana. Whatever has life, whether it's a plant, it's a bird, it's mammal, it's the being living in the sea, in the water, whatever has life has life due to the flow of prana. The prana flows through them. That's why they have life. So then I explained that the prana, the energy, flow in our body through nadis, and the number of nadi that through which the prana flows in human body are 72,000. Yes, you rightly heard me. 72,000. Out of those 72,000 nadis or channels, which are so-called channels, through which it's kind of ductless tube through which the prana flows. Okay, and the out of those 72,000, 10 are the believed to be most important, and those 10 nadis are connected with our 10 gates of the body. Now, what are those 10 gates? Those 10 gates are our anus, then urinary tract, then your mouth, 2 nostrils, 2 earrings, 2 eyes, and the last one, and the most important one, is the Brahmarantra, or the crown of the head. So I explained that the person dies, any person, whoever dies if it's a natural death, they die from any one of the gate. And through whichever gate the person dies reveals the kind of life that person has led. So we have we are the amalgamation of 3 gunas, or 3 qualities. They are so-called tamasic, rajasic, and sattvic. So person who dies during their death, whoever dies from the lower gates, that is their anus or urinary tract, they are very the tamasic nature or tamasic good is high in degree in them. So how do you come to know that they have died from the lower gates? So they either pass urine or they pass stool. So it reveals that they have died from the lower gates. Now, these are called more rajasic. So they are not, the tamasic is not as high in them, but it is there. The presence is there. And they have somewhat some sattvic guna also with them. But again, the degree is not as high as the sattvic guna people. And we such kind of people, and we all fall into that category. Yes. So we people who die from the eyes, their eyes remain open, that means they have died from the eyes. Ears or nose, you don't come to know, because again it's subtler than the air, and they die from if they die from nose or ears, we don't come to know. The mouth remain open, that means they have died from there. So rajasic people are said to be more they are filled with egoistic, they are very egoistic, and they have too much of let's say like greed in them. Whereas tamasic, they can be lazy, they can be very angry, cruel, and jealous. So Sadaripu is higher in degree in the Tamasic people. Sadaripu, that is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Isha, Ahankar, is lower than the Tamasic people in the Rajasic people. And those Sadaripu, people who die from the Brahmrat. So, as I said, that so far I've taken so many workshops, and so far only 32 people have told me that I know person who have died from here. And I asked all of them that, can you explain the kind of people they were? And their answer was common, that they were, those people were very lovable, very kind, very generous, and never differentiated in anyone. They were simply, they used to give love, and they were saint-like. And I asked, how did you come to know that they have died here, from here? So few of them, they said that this cracked. Yeah, you rightly heard, this cracked. So such people are very rare, as I said. Out of 5 or 10,000 people, I only 32 came up and said that, okay, I know. So you can understand how rare it is, not even 0.003%. Okay. Then we explained that out of those 10 gates, again, 3 are out of those 10 channels, 3 are again more important. And those are connected with our left and right brain. So whenever you are, at a time, only one brain functions predominantly. And that is connected with our nostrils. So whenever predominantly you're breathing in and out through the right nostril, your left brain is active. Whenever predominantly you're breathing in and out through the left nostril, your right brain is more active. And it reveals, in Chinese, it is known as yin and yang. And they always say that if you're yin and yang, it is normal, it is balanced, then we don't suffer from any diseases. It falls in the same, it's called Ida and Pingla. So when our Ida and Pingla are well balanced, then we are happy, we are calm, we are serene, physically, mentally, we are active, because again, it is connected with the brain activity. And whenever you breathe in and out equally through both the nostrils, at that time, your Sushumna, the most important nadi or channel, gets activated. And that creates harmony between the left and the right brain. And that is the best situation for meditation. And how to get that position is through walking, through any kind of exercise, through yoga, through pranayama, through meditation. You can get this position. And there is no confusion. And the Sadaripu is also at a very lower degree. And we feel happy, we feel elated, we are confident. Whatever decision we take at that time, we are rest assured that it is right. So that is the 3 important nadis that we were talking, out of those 10 important nadis, out of 72,000 nadis. But the Sushumna nadi is the most important one, because all the other 71,999 nadis are tributary to Sushumna, including your left and right, that is Ida and Pingla channel. Okay. Now, then we said that how the chakras are formed. So obviously, if we have 72,000 channels in the body, wherever they intersect each other, chakras are formed. So we have many chakras in the body, but out of many chakras, 7 are the most important ones. And they are located along our spine, because the brain controls our entire body with the help of spine. So these 7 important chakras are located along our spine and in the brain region. So we spoke about we discussed about the 7 important chakras, starting with the Muladhara chakra, which is located at our anus, just above our anus. Then the second important chakra is known as the Swadhisthana chakra, which is located just below our tailbone. The third important chakra is known as the Manipur chakra, which is located right behind our navel. The fourth important chakra is known as the Anahata chakra, which is located right behind our heart. The fifth important chakra is known as the Vishuddhi chakra, which is located right behind our atom sapper. This sixth important chakra is located at the third eye region, where both the eyebrows meet over here. and it is known as the Agya Chakra, Guru Chakra, or third eye chakra. And the seventh important chakra is known as the Brahmanantra Chakra, which is located at the crown of the head. Okay, and then we discuss about one more important chakra, which is known as the Bindu Chakra, which is located right behind where we have our Agya Chakra located here. Bindu Chakra is right behind here on the at the back of our head, and this chakra is very very few people, at very few places it has been mentioned, because the research is still going on, but it is an important chakra, because as I said, the moon, this chakra every single day secrete a drop of nectar, and when we know how to utilize that nectar, then there is no need, the need of food or drink, or to drink anything is not required. Our body, it fulfills the need of food and drink. Yeah, you rightly heard. And then we discuss about the 7 lower chakras. And when our consciousness, when it starts going down, the Sadaripu, that is Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Isha, and Ka, increases in degree, then our consciousness start residing down, lower than our Muladhara chakra. And they are known, those 7 lower chakras are known as Atala, Sutala, Betala. I'll just read out the, I don't remember the number of, the right sequence. So it is known as a Atala chakra, which is located at our hip region, and it deals with our anger, fear. And then the second one is known as the Vitala chakra, which is located in our thigh region, and it deals with anger. So people who are very angry by nature, understand that your consciousness has reached to Vitala chakra, okay, near your thigh region. And then the third chakra is known as the Sutala chakra, which resides, which is located in our knee region, and such kind of people suffer from too much of jealousy. Such people, their consciousness goes down. Whoever's consciousness goes down to the knee region, they are filled with jealousy. As I said, Sadaripu is higher in degree in them. And then the fourth chakra, the lower chakra, is in the your calf region, and it is known as the Tala chakra. And such kind of people are very confused by nature. So you must have seen so many people who are very confused all the time. They just can't decide anything. So you can understand their consciousness is residing down in their calf region. That's the chakra. As I said, we have many chakras in the body. So these are the lower chakras. And people, whoever meditate regularly, their consciousness starts residing, moving upward. That's what we want. We want our consciousness to move up. Then the fifth lower chakra is known as the Rasatala chakra, and such people, their consciousness reside in their foot region, in their ankle. And it's a Rasatala, and such people are they are very selfish by nature. So whomever you come across as a very selfish, so you can understand that their consciousness is down there at that time. So, and the sixth lower chakra is known as the Mahatala chakra, and the location of this chakra is in the feet, and such people whose consciousness is down there, they are consciousnessless. They are, you can say that they are more animal-like, the natured, more cruel, and they love to create pain for other people. And the last chakra is the Patal chakra. So that the people whose consciousness reside there, the murderers, their consciousness actually reside there. It is at the sole of our feet. So obviously, people who meditate regularly, their consciousness cannot go down. It cannot go down below your Muladhara chakra. because with meditation, the consciousness starts moving upward. Then we spoke about the important chakras and their qualities. It was a vast subject. Why I'm repeating the whole thing? Because from next Friday onward, we want to start the petal mantras of each and every chakra. Again, petal mantras deals with the quality, the positive quality. As I said, when the chakras are imbalanced, chakras don't only deal with positive quality. If our consciousness goes down, or it's not well balanced, or we are suffering from too much of stress and sadaripu, then these chakras only gives us negative quality. So they deals with negative quality also. So for us, when whoever meditate regularly, the positivity in them and the positive qualities start increasing in degree. Like Muladhara Chakra deals with fearlessness, it deals with stability, it deals with security. Then Swadhisthana Chakra deals the positive quality of Swadhisthana Chakra is enjoying the nature, enjoying the pleasure, and seeing those small happiness in everything. Otherwise, we forget, and enthusiasm, okay, and creativity. So such kind of people are very creative by nature, whose consciousness reside in that chakra. Then the third chakra, that is Muladhara Chakra, deals in leadership and confidence, and the negative quality for this is ego. So people who suffer from too much of ego, if you imbalance one chakra, it imbalances all the other chakras also. So we have to remember, we have to see that all the other chakras are well balanced. Otherwise, if too much of ego we suffer from, or too much of fear we suffer from, we imbalance one chakra and all the other chakras balance goes haywire. Then the fourth chakra, Anahata Chakra, deals the positive quality of Anahata Chakra is love, unconditional love, devotion, passion, compassion. Okay, and then the sixth important chakra is Vishuddhi, the Adam's apple. This deals with again confidence and the communication, the right way of communicating everything. So there are so many ways of talking to others, and in one way you can actually make them your friend, the lifelong friend, and by talking wrongly you can make them your angry. So this is the chakra of communication, the right kind of communication. That's a positive quality of this. This chakra deals with sharing. So obviously people who are very creative by nature, then once they earn everything, then they love to share whatever they have earned, whatever quality they have earned. They love to share it with other people. And this chakra actually teaches you to share that, whatever you have earned in your life. You love, like teachers, they share their teachings, their good teachings and all. Dancer, they love to teach, they share their dancing. The painters, the singers, see, whoever, they love to teach their art to other people selflessly. So this chakra deals with selflessness. And the last, this deals with enlightenment, happiness. So we all have a right to be happy. We all have a right. But we forget, because we engulf ourselves, or Maya engulf us so much that we forget that right nature of a human being. That is being happy and to spread love. That is the true nature, the true quality of a human being. To be compassionate, to be passionate, to spread love, to be happy, to be stress-free, and to deal with any kind of situation, dealing with the stress, and to be creative, and to know, to accept things that you cannot change, to not to expect, so that it cannot create pain to you. So these are the positive quality that we start gaining once we start meditating every day. And doesn't we want that to be happy? So these qualities, once you start having these qualities in you, who can take away your happiness from you? You can be always happy. You can be always joyful and light, like there'll be no baggages with you. Otherwise, we human beings, we carry our baggages with us all the time. So you will get rid of those baggages because you will not create any. You'll start living in present rather than worrying about the future and grieving about your past. You start living in the present moment. That's what we want. Not to worry about the future and not to grieve or think and feel bad about our past. Whatever we have to do is think that pleasure moment, what we have experienced in our past, and enjoy those moments. Create happiness in our body, and not to forget those sad moment or unhappy moment. That's what it teaches, the meditation teaches. So in a very short brief, I have explained and we spoke about the 7 auras, 5 aura, that is Annamay Kosh, Pranmay Kosh, Manomay Kosh, Vigyanmay Kosh, and Anandmay Kosh. Once our chakras are well balanced, these auras that are located around us, that create security shield around us, they become more brighter, they become more they expand, and people around us feel more happy because we create that happiness in our house, around us, and in our family, because that becomes our nature. You must have seen so many people whose company really gives you a lot of pleasure because their aura is very positive. Their aura is positive because their chakras are well balanced. Because again, chakras are connected with the auras. So your Annamay Kosh is connected, your Muladhara chakra, Swadhisthana chakra, and Manipur chakra controls or deals with this Annamay Kosh. Then Pranmay Kosh is dealt by your Anahat chakra and Vishuddhi chakra. Then Manomay Kosh is dealt with your Agya chakra. Manomay and the Vigyanmay both are dealt with Agya chakra. And your last one, this deals with the Anandamay Kosh. Anandamay is happiness, Satchidanand state. So that's what the state we want to be in. Don't you want to be in that state? Meditation is the only method, is the only tool which can provide you that state of Satchidanand state. That's the only tool. It is just like Wi-Fi. So I said that we have 3 levels of mind. Physical mind, which controls only 5 to 7% of the brain capacity. Then it is the subconscious mind, which controls only about 15% of the brain capacity. Then the last one is known as the unconscious mind, which deals with our 85% of the brain capacity. You must be knowing that you must have come to you must have heard that we human beings utilize only 5 to 7% of our brain capacity. Rest 95 to 93% of the brain capacity remain untapped, unutilized. So when our Agya Chakra, when our we get into the Anandamay Kosh, the Sahasrara chakra, the last one, the important chakra, our consciousness reaches to this level, then we start dealing, our body, our mind start operating from that 85% of the brain capacity, which remains untapped, unutilized throughout our lifetime. Meditation is the only tool which can actually give you access to this part of the brain. That's the fact. So now, do we have any question answer? I've taken a lot of time in reviewing the whole thing, though I have not reviewed the whole everything in this. So shall we start the meditation, or you want to ask some questions?
Why don't we do the meditation first and then we will do the question and answer? Is that okay?
So meditation, yeah, I don't mind. So meditation, I think 27 minutes or 37 minutes. I don't think so. We have 27 minutes, more than 27 minutes, because you would like to keep about 5 to 10 minutes for question answer session, right?
Okay, ji.
Okay. So 27.
Yes, putting it up.
Take your positions. Sit with your back straight, with your hands in Gyan Mudra, resting on your lap. Close your eyes and relax. Relax every part of your body. Let's begin with Omkar. Begin. Now, Brahmari. Now prepare yourself for Anulom Vilom. Assume the Pranam Mudra with your right hand and begin. Left in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Left in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold Jalandhar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Left out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release. Gently bring your right hand back to Gyan Mudra. It is now time for square breathing in sync with the Gayatri Mantra. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om Bhurvasvaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat. Om तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्। Now it is time for chakra meditation. Muladhara chakra, located above the anus. Now, beach mantra, begin. Now, Swadhisthana, located just below the tailbone. Now, the beach mantra, begin. Manipur chakra, located right behind our navel on the lumbar spine. Now, the beach mantras begin. It is time for Anahat now, located behind the heart on the path of the thoracic spine. The beach mantras begin. Next, Vishuddhi, located right behind our Adam's apple on the path of the cervical spine. to the Ajna Chakra, located between the eyebrows. Now, beach mantras begin. Finally, at Sahasrara, located at the crown of the head. Chant the beach mantra Soham silently. Begin. Now, at all the energy centers, the chakras are rotating in the clockwise direction. All are bright, balanced, and stimulated. The inner and outer body are in perfect balance, powerful and secure. With that, we will end this meditation with the universal mantra Om. Begin. Rub your palms together, cup your eyes, and slowly open your eyes. Hari Om.
Hari. Yes, so it's time for question answer. So it's been already more than 5 months since we are meditating every day. We started in the month of May. So people who are doing it regularly they will definitely get more benefit by doing petal mantras, which we are going to start from next Friday onward. And it'll be a very, very powerful meditation. Okay. Now, do we have any questions? Any query?
Where is the Sushumna chakra located?
So Sushumna is not a chakra, it's a nadi, it's a channel. And it passes through our spine and ends over here. So that's called Sushumna nadi, or the channel. And whenever our primal energy, we had one session where we discussed about the Kundalini Shakti. That is a primal energy which resides in each and every human being, and it is in a sleeping state. Whenever it awakens, it should pass through only Sushumna Nadi, the channel, the central channel, and not any other channel. Then only our consciousness, our self, we meet with the divine and we get enlightened. That's the purpose.
Is there a Atma Nadi besides Sushumna Nadi?
Atma is soul. There is no Atma Nadi as such, no. However, there is a Saraswati Nadi, which is located in our tongue. So we say at time, like whatever we say become true. So you should not say anything wrong. So because there is a Nadi, which is known as a Saraswati Nadi, which is located in our tongue, behind our throat.
Where did you point to the Sushumna Nadi?
Point? It starts at the just above our anus, passes through all the important chakras, the 7 important chakra, and ends over here. Passes through our spine, and our important chakras are located along our spine, and it ends here.
I get a lot of ringing in my ears. Which chakra I have to meditate on, or is there a mudra I can do to head?
I'm sorry, I didn't get the question. What is it?
I'm getting a lot of ringing in my ears. Which chakra I have to meditate on, or is there a mudra I can do to help with the condition?
Yeah, drinking can. Well, if the damage has already happened, you can manage it. Otherwise, this Shunya Mudra will be helpful. Shunya Mudra is, as I told you, we did discuss about the mudras and all in connection with the tattvas. So the longest finger represent or is connected with our ether element. So you can actually do this mudra. This will help. People suffering from vertigo, ringing in the ear, or any earache problem, this mudra will be helpful. And the sound, the ear, are connected with our Vishuddhi chakra. So one should remain in the Vishuddhi chakra for a longer time, but that doesn't mean that you will only do Vishuddhi chakra. You have to do all the other chakras, but Vishuddhi will be very helpful.
Can you explain the Gayatri Mantra breathing in and out technique once again, please? Which line goes with what?
So there are 4, yeah, because I think I've explained it a number of times. So there are 4 lines in Gayatri Mantra. Very first line is Om Bhur Bhuvasva. Second line is Dhiyo Yona. Second line Om Bhur Bhuvasva Tat Savitur Varenyam. Third line is Dhiyo Yona Prachodya. Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi. Dhiyo Yona Prachodhyat is the 4th line. So in the first line, you are supposed to breathe in. Second line, you are supposed to hold your breath. Third line, when it is being chanted, you are supposed to breathe out. And fourth line, you are supposed to hold again. So first line, breathe in. Second line, you hold. Third line, you breathe out. Fourth line, you hold again. That's called square breathing.
Is there a hearing loss mudra?
The Shunya Mudra, that will help.
Somebody wants to know why the chakra meditation, the best of all the other meditation techniques out there.
No, all the other meditation are very good. Whatever meditation comforts you or you are comfortable with, any kind of meditation will take you to the same peak, to the same path, and will give you the same pleasure. The method can be different, but ultimately, these all meditation gives you one ultimate thing, that is pleasure, serenity, calmness, happiness, and being more closer to the divinity. The path can be, so it is like divinity or enlightenment or being happy is a peak if you can take it, and the whole thing is a mountain. The path is a mountain. So you can take any path from there. Ultimately, it will take you to the same destination. I myself have tried my hand in so many meditation, like I did Vipassana. I've done SSY Yoga. I've done then Siddhi Samadhi, that is SSY, and many more. I've tried my hands. But finally, I settled because I'm more comfortable with chakra meditation. So everybody has their different criteria. Whatever they are comfortable with, they can do it.
I just want to tell everyone once again that starting next week, time for people in India will change, and it'll be at 7:30 p.m. Indian time going forward. And if you are joining us from any other part of the world, please check. It will be based on Houston, 8 a.m. on Fridays. Or you can send me a message and I can let you know what will be your local time there.
So are there any questions, Ravi, or we end our session here?
I think it's a little over 9 o'clock already. Let's end the session.
Okay. So again, once again, namaste to all, and see you all next Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. See you all next week.